is what we call
hater shit.
There is no better term.
What is she trying to sell this for $125? Is that what she's trying to do? I'm confused. Like 10 times since 9 p.m. when I tried to go to sleep the first time. God, please help. I am completely exhausted, 39 weeks pregnant at 6:31 a.m.
Oh my God, you guys. So we're 39 weeks pregnant. And the tent is literally collapsing from every single corner. All of the poles, I don't know if you could see, are broken. Someone broke them. The wind didn't break them, weather didn't break them. Someone literally broke them. I've woken up like 30 times since I tried to go to sleep last night at like 9 p.m. I am so uncomfortable, ladies who've made it to 39 weeks. How did you do it? And I'm not sleeping on a bed. I'm sleeping on a plywood wooden platform underneath our tent so that we don't get wet. It'd be great if Xavier's father, 311, would come through right about now. So I'm very grateful to be the age that I am and still okay sleeping on the floor. I really don't know how my body is.
What is that? Watching something? Why is it ringing?
Doing this. Thank God for my healthy body. Because wow, you guys, I am, talk about resilient, right? Xavier just put on a movie. Every day I do the same thing. I wake up around this time between 5 and 6. Unless I have been woken up like intrusively, like the other night with the mouse or something like that around like 3 or 4, which has happened a lot, and I'm just sitting awake for like 2-3 hours, cranky and very pregnant. So now it's 6:30, I'll stay awake. I'll do a little bit of stretching from here, seated stretching. Text all my children, tell them good morning, have a great day at school, please call me after school. I love my children to receive good morning texts from their mom every day rather than a significant other. And a lot of you also know one of the most controversial parts of my pregnancy is that I've been using CBD or THA.
Oh my God.
THCA, which is like a kind of like
step down from
marijuana, rather than ibuprofen or Tylenol to manage my pain and especially anxiety and difficulty sleeping this entire pregnancy. It's been working for me. Some nights it just doesn't anymore. I think I'm just too far along. But I am going to be circulating a thesis that I wrote about the effects of CBD, THCA, and how it's affected me in a real clinical way. I chose to use this as like a little experiment and documentation time.
Whenever you're pregnant, why would you experiment on something whenever you're pregnant?
So I will be publishing that here to my personal. But with the exception of the tent situation, this pregnancy has been incredibly healthy. I've been very, very active. You guys know that we were going from Chicago to the Northwest Burbs on foot at least once, sometimes twice or 3 times a month with 200-pound carts each with our bicycles on top, luggages, everything. And we did that from the moment we found out I was pregnant all the way until about 8 months, 7.5 months is when we condensed to one cart. And we took the walk out there for the last time in November. For the month of December, we had Christmas gifts, so we took the bus. And we haven't gone yet for the month of January. My kids are like, Mom, please stop pushing yourself so excessively. So I feel guilty, but I am huge right now, you guys, really big. So 20 days ago, I was banned from going live on this account for a period of 24 days. I never violated any of the rules, but I think it was just getting very controversial. The fact that I'm like pointing out all of these laws about human rights and civil rights and how mine and Xavier's have been, ignored and no action was being taken. And this is not a matter of like sneaking around or being below the radar. I've gone directly to the steps of law enforcement and said, you tell us where to go if this is not an acceptable solution. We've also been calling on the city of Chicago and numerous other, resources. So it's been the same. It's been this is going on for now 18, 19 months and counting, and we have really extensive documentation. So I'm using these FTR sections to update right now because I cannot do lives. If you guys go to the live section in the middle column, you'll see live updates every single day almost. But yeah, so for the since we've been at this location, I have very limited mobility. At 28 weeks, 29 weeks, I started having Braxton Hicks contractions, which are contractions that feel very real. Your uterus, your tummy get very, very tight, but they don't produce you. They are non-productive, I mean to say. Pardon me, meaning you're not producing the hormones that you need to produce to efface or dilate your cervix. So my cervix has remained strong. I did lose a twin pregnancy, as you guys know, in December 26, 2022, a little over a year ago at 18 weeks, 6 days. So this has been really rough on my body. And I did also get pregnant on an injection of birth control. So I know God wants this, and I'm very grateful, but it has been very painful and difficult. With regards to the epidural, a lot of people are asking me what's my plan for that. And quite frankly, I haven't done much sitting down in the last 4 years prior to this. So I feel like everything happens for a reason. God sat me down, for the last several weeks, and I have accomplished pretty much everything that I've been accomplishing repeatedly. Calling law enforcement in various jurisdictions to follow up on all of the abuses, sexual assaults, the bludgeoning, asking them what goes on, what's the process for me receiving restitution and victim services, which is mandated by Marsy's Law, which was passed in 1991, that states any victim of a violent crime or heinous sexual offense will receive restitution whether the offender can pay it or not, and that will come from the court system. I've not been permitted or granted a single day in court regarding any of these attacks, so I've been catching up and documenting all of that.
This is my 4th time giving birth. My oldest is 17, 15, and then the youngest is 10, 6:48 a.m.
And then I also just began one more round of emailing every detective who's been involved, all of the state's attorneys, Roxanne DeJulius, who is the original chief security officer at the judge's office at the Daly Center location, along with several judges. I don't know what they're called, chief staff, not chief security, their administrative staff. Each judge has their own assistant. So I have that list ranging back from 2019, and I have been emailing these people for a period of 4 years now. So I've just been sending everyone an update, including the state of Illinois, proving, as I've said again, that I have been chased out of 21 jobs, that I have been sexually assaulted, bludgeoned, my head has been split open, I've been beaten and left in a tent to die after my vehicle and home have been destroyed, and 3 children have been separated from me. Those children have lived with me since birth. They're my babies.
6:50 a.m. We have seen numerous county sheriffs and not a single CPD car for about a week now.
And I've even included emails that I have sent to mayors of other cities and states. So from Minneapolis to Michigan, to Indiana, to Wisconsin, all of the kind of surrounding Midwest region states, I have taken the opportunity to email not only local aldermen to Chicago, but also political figures for surrounding states, asking them, are there any issues with law enforcement overall? I have noticed a trend every 2 to 3 months, CPD will be missing and they will be replaced by Cook County sheriffs. That's typically indicating that there is a staffing problem, which is typically indicated because of corruption. So usually when police, there's too much crime in an area or the police are being extorted or in some way implicated, not blaming either the police nor the public, but when there are issues like that, they take police out and add sheriffs until they're able to clear up what's going on, which has been the case now today. So my kids start school between 7 and 8, depending on which one we're talking about. I'm going to go message them now and tell them good morning and make sure they have their homework done and et cetera and so forth. I try to keep as normal of a schedule as I possibly can. I also have been emailing all of the staff from the 21 jobs I've been working at where the management has either forced me out unlawfully or has been extorted into doing so. So yesterday I reached out to Car Santos, who works for LA Fitness. There have been multiple emails with HR from Export, as well as, a bunch of different companies. I've worked at 21 companies since this controversy began for me in 2020, and everyone has ended in the same way. Zero disciplinary action. I'm always like employee of the month, DoorDasher of the month, et cetera, and so forth. But something happens, and
I'm that fucking DoorDasher of the month, man.
There's some sort of blockage. So I've been staying busy from the tent, you guys. Baby's coming soon. But I think the best news of the day is that we made it to 39 weeks, and February the 8th is today. So for anyone who knows, I get a little tiny bit of money, approximately $300 and something since September of this year when I found out I was pregnant. And I am using that to get the travel system. I've already gotten clothes, bottles. I'm planning to breastfeed, so I don't have to do too much with the feeding systems. Pacifiers, socks, hats, mittens, diaper bags. So the travel system was like the last thing that we needed. And literally that's it. Like I was freaking out like, oh my God, what happens if I go into labor and I haven't gotten it yet? We made it. So we're going to pick that up at some point today. And maybe the tent is like falling apart right when God is saying, you guys are done with this tent,
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Car Santos, LA Fitness, Lakeview. What's up, Car? So I spoke with HR at LA Fitness a bunch of times. They still say to this day that you never even pulled a background check on me. That was your reason for termination, wasn't it? You texted me in writing stating that HR had a problem with my background check. I'm fully aware that you know more than what you are saying. This occurrence of wrongful and unjust termination was one of 21 in the past 3 years. Everyone gives a fake excuse, and I'm trying to tie it all together to assist law enforcement in figuring out and presenting evidence to the state that will result in answers and explanation for why or how I have been oppressed and chased out of every income earning opportunity I've created over these years. Please feel free to contact me back via email. With more information. I'm trying to gather the information myself so that I could present it to law enforcement. I feel like they have been incapable of gathering any of this information as I am spending my 4th year unlawfully removed from my home and separated from my children. Please consider this an urgent request. If you would feel more comfortable emailing this to law enforcement, please let me know and I will give you a contact. Thank you, Heather Gillespie. That's so crazy.